Hey guys, I haven't done a video in a long time, and I think I'm going to do a video on, what is it, why I have decided that I probably will never become, will ever convert and become like a TradCath. One kind of more superficial reason is that it's kind of weird when you see specifically Anglo Americans who have like no really traceable like Catholic ancestry LARPing really hard as traditional Catholics. Like it's just weird. It's very LARPy, you know. Like your ancestors are like hardcore Calvinists, but you're like, yeah, you have so much hatred for Protestants, even though most of your family, your grandparents, your great grandparents, great great grandparents, whatever, great grandparents are were Protestants. But I don't know. It's fucking weird, right? That's more of a superficial reason. It's just, you know that over the past um, 2 years, I think, maybe 2 years, maybe a year and a half. I don't know. I've been looking into like the history of the Norman conquest and how the Anglospheres has become a complete shit show. But something interesting looking at the Norman conquest is that the fact that it was pretty much kind of a papal invasion. The Normans and William the Conqueror had the blessing and support of the Pope. Even William the Conqueror flew the papal banner. Even the the Catholic Anglo-Saxon Church, right, which was still part of the Catholic Church, right? Most of the clergy was killed off. At least 90 or 98% of the aristocracy was killed off. 20% the population was killed off. So that and a whole new aristocracy took over. It was mostly French-speaking Normans. So this was, they were supported by the Pope to push church reforms. So in many ways, I think this great upheaval kind of leads to everything after. In many ways, right? Um, so that's, I guess, learning that I'm trying to say, and I'm sorry for mumbling. So it's left a very bad taste in my mouth, right? And I'm really starting to understand, like, oh, like I don't believe the Reformation in England didn't just come out of nowhere. Like, I think an argument is made that um, Norman conquest probably played a role. I mean, a funny thing is that Henry VIII, he is a direct descendant of William the Conqueror, so it's almost kind of like weirdly kind of ironic is that William the Conqueror came in with support of Rome, and then one of his descendants pretty much fucks over Rome. And I'm not saying this as a big defense of Henry VIII. I'm not a big Henry VIII person. I'm actually not a big Tudor person. Retrospect, I probably would have preferred if Richard III won at Bosworth and not Henry VIII's father, Henry Tudor. But that's just me. So, and then just even other things I learned, like the Glorious Revolution to overthrow the Catholic King James II of the Stuart dynasty, when William the Orange, the Dutchman, who was Calvinist, overthrew him. Yeah, William of Orange was supported by the papacy because the papacy feared France, and France was kind of allied with the Stuarts of Britain. So they feared that alliance, because that alliance could break the Habsburg ring, right? So that's another reason I've really grown. And it's like, my issues with Roman Catholicism is not like, it's not like the kind of low IQ evangelical thing of, they worship Mary, or they worship the saints, or like, I'm not even thinking about that. Like, that's not really my big go-to problem with Roman Catholicism. It's ultimately the papacy. It is the bishop in Rome who has, over the centuries, became corrupt and too powerful. And in reality, as far as I'm concerned, he should have just remained the bishop of Rome. But, Marquis, whatever. So for those reasons, I don't think I'll ever become a Roman Catholic. I feel too much animosity to the papacy and their ass kissers. Yeah. So for those reasons, it's just who knows? Maybe if the Roman conquest never happened, maybe the Reformation may have not happened, or at least not in England. And I think and it's not to say I'm like defending everything from the Reformation. I mean, the English Reformation, so much precious work from the Anglo-Saxon period was destroyed by hardcore English Protestants, right? So, yeah, I'm just not. I definitely see. Like, it's the same way I kind of view Maoist China. Like, it's not good. I can see how it happened, especially if you look at, like, kind of the backwardness of feudal China. It kind of makes sense how Mao took over. He was not a good person, far from it, but it makes sense. Right, so I guess, yeah, I am not a fan of the Roman pontiff. I'm not a fan of the Habsburgs, who are some of the biggest ass kissers of the papacy probably on earth, who, funny enough, got destroyed by the British Empire, which is a product of the papal invasion of 1066. So it's all kind of ironic, really. It really is. But it kind of got rid of my self-hating, learning this stuff got rid of my self-hating Anglophobia. Like, because, I don't know if you've been on my channel for a while, but I used to, like, LARP as French, which I do have some French ancestry, but here's the thing. My ancestors haven't spoken French, at least since probably the 1500s, right? Like, we've been intermarrying with Anglo for a very long time. So learning this stuff has definitely, I don't know, in some ways I feel kind of vindicated. About, how many times you go on the internet and there's some Spanish Empire aboo, I don't know, Hispanaboo, I don't know, who's like dogging on like how evil Anglos are. Like, you know what, dude, like, we are what the papists made us. There you go. We are what the papacy made us. So if we're monsters, yeah, yes we are. So you better watch out. I'm just kidding, of course. But yeah, I have become no fan of the papacy. Don't trust them.